2025 Lamborghini Temerario first look, the Huracán replacement dares to be different. With a radically new engine and design language, the Huracán replacement breaks new ground for Lamborghini. When your brand is bound inextricably by a single product designed more than 50 years ago, it can be difficult to do something radically different, and what counts as radical is far more permissive. In this context, the 2025 Lamborghini Temerario is a big step for a company whose ethos revolves around the Countach. What's a Temerario? It's okay to be skeptical. At first glance, this is yet another low-slung, wedge-shaped supercar from a marque known for almost nothing but. While there are several individual elements you can tie to the Rivuelto hypercar and Urus SUV, the Temerario, Italian for daredevil, the company says, charts a new direction for Lamborghini design as it takes over for the discontinued Huracán. What jumps out more than anything are the softer, more organic curves hiding behind the sharp character lines punctuated with a repeating hexagonal motif inspired by the 1967 Marzal concept. Also of note are the new slimline headlights and their surrounds that make us think of the Ferrari 296 GTB in 12-cylindry, and which are a major departure from the direction set by the Huracán and Rivuelto. We also acknowledge the return of the big side inlet from the Gallardo that the Huracán eschewed. From the rear, we get a lot of 1960s Le Mans cars from the exposed engine, an idea cribbed specifically from the Rivuelto, to the almost fully exposed tires and plethora of venting around the single center exit exhaust. Despite the truncated tail, the Temerario is 5.5 inches longer than the outgoing Huracán Technica. It needs all those inlets and outlets to both feed and cool the new twin-turbo plug-in hybrid 4.0-liter V8 powertrain we exclusively reported on back in 2022. Lamborghini has embraced forced induction with verve, planting a pair of turbochargers in the engine's V that blow into intercoolers mounted behind the scoops atop the rear fenders and ducted through outlets around the taillights. So far, so supercar, but here's where things get wild. The V8, the first in a Lamborghini sports car since the company discontinued the Djaba in 1988, spins to 10,000 revolutions per minute and makes 789 horsepower from 9,000 to 9,750 revolutions per minute and 516 pounds-to-foot of torque from 4,000 to 7,000 revolutions per minute. Helping it achieve those numbers is a thin axial flux electric motor sandwiched between the engine and 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, also cribbed from the Rivuelto, providing 148 horsepower and 221 pounds-to-foot. It's joined by two other electric motors fitted to the front axle as they are in the Rivuelto and offering regenerative braking and torque vectoring. All working together, Lamborghini says the combined powertrain puts out 907 horsepower and 590 pounds-to-foot, allegedly good for a 2.7-second 0 to 62 mile/hour time on the way to a top speed exceeding 211 miles per hour. All the aero. The scoops and vents don't just serve the powertrain, either. Reaching 200 miles per hour and beyond requires smart aerodynamics, so the Temerario has plenty of such tricks up its sleeve. The biggest are the vortex generators and diffuser under the car, but others include S-ducts around the headlights, flow-through daytime running lights, a roof shape designed to channel air to the center of the rear wing, and vents at the rear wing's leading edge to direct air over the ends. Lamborghini boasts of 118% better aerodynamic efficiency than the Huracán Evo. The all-new powertrain, and specifically the new dual-clutch transmission, allowed for tighter packaging and a rear diffuser big enough to obviate the need for a big fixed or powered rear wing. That's just the standard aero. The Temerario will also launch with an optional lightweight pack that's as much about aerodynamics as it is about weight. It adds a carbon fiber composite front splitter with winglets, recycled carbon fiber underbody panels, carbon fiber composite side skirts, carbon fiber rear hatch and wing, plus Gorilla Glass windows all around except the little triangles behind the doors, which become polycarbonate. All totaled, it saves 27.9 pounds and bumps aerodynamic efficiency to an alleged 158% of the Huracán Evo while increasing aerodynamic load by 56% over the base Temerario. To those weight savings, you can also add a carbon pack that includes a carbon fiber rear diffuser, side intake caps, and door mirrors, all of which combined knock another 4 pounds off the curb weight. Carbon fiber wheels will also be available, but Lamborghini isn't saying anything more about them now. Step into my office. The interior is indistinguishable from the Rivueltos in pictures, and that's by design to create continuity between products. Because the car is entirely new and shares nothing with the Huracán, taller customers will enjoy more interior space thanks to a new all-aluminum chassis that's both trimmer and 20% stiffer in torsion. New castings and extrusions introduced on the Rivuelto, combined with a 1.6-inch longer wheelbase, open an extra 1.8 inches of legroom compared to the Huracán and 1.3 inches of headroom. The door sills, meanwhile, are 0.9-inch narrower for easier entry and exit. Despite the extra space, Lamborghini claims the Temerario still has the lowest roof height in its class. A small lithium-ion battery was mounted in the tunnel between the seats as it is in the Revuelto and will offer a few miles of pure electric range to satisfy combustion engine bans in some international cities. As with its big brother, the Temerario features 3 screens including the instrument cluster, infotainment, and a slim passenger display popularized by Ferrari. Lamborghini promises the graphics will be much better than those seen in the Huracán and feature several animations as well as augmented reality navigation. We bet they'll look a lot like the Revuelto screens, if they're not identical. The steering wheel also appears to be exactly like the Revueltos, replete with knobs for controlling various vehicle functions mixed in with all the buttons. More to come. A number of questions remain unanswered. We don't know when the car will go on sale or what it will cost, and a number of specs are still TBD, including its curb weight. But the entry-level Lambo's future is more than secure in the Temerario.